Welcome back to From Nine to Mom.
Where we discuss balancing the 9 to 5 hustle with the beautiful chaos that we call motherhood.
And we're coming off the high of a work trip last week where we were finally together on a work trip.
I know, I feel like we always go on trips for work or travel or go to events, but not always together. This was a gift. And I don't know, I
I
feel
know.
very grateful for Amaya who traveled with us because she's much younger than us, but more mature than us. And she also is a fantastic photographer and videographer for us.
I know. It was nice to have an extra person with us. But yeah, it was. So we wanted to talk about the event that we were at first because it was very up our alley for all you listeners and all of us. But it was a women's only event. It was specifically for insurance agents, but it didn't even really feel like it.
No, it did not. It's the first insurance event that I've ever been to where it wasn't all about insurance. It was really more about personal growth and professional development, really.
Yeah, which was really cool. And so while it was like entrepreneur women, business owners and that, it was really cool to like connect with people on the level of like being a mom. Like it wasn't like you couldn't say that or that there were like younger people that might not relate to. It kind of felt like everyone was a mom that was there.
Yes.
And we were able to like all connect on that front, which was cool.
Yeah, and I think it was a really good, it was obviously about women. So bold women, bold moves. It was created for women only, but it wasn't a men suck, women rule
Yeah.
event. It was more just, we didn't even talk about the guys. It was more just like, leave them out of the room right now. This is about us. And it was really focused
Yeah.
on why we need a community of women within the business world because of the fact that we are moms, because the fact that we have multiple priorities and tons of things pulling us in different directions, our marriages, our kids, our work. And how do we navigate through that in a sea of tons of people? Well, you get a bunch of working moms together to
Yeah,
connect.
it was cool to be able to like not leave that stuff out of the networking because it's such a huge part of who we are. And I felt like, everyone pulled out a couple pictures of their kids or kids were calling and, texting during the event. So it was like fun to not leave that part out because it all factors into like us as business owners and trying to navigate it all. So it's cool because it's sometimes like not that it's bad with men, but like sometimes you just don't want to talk about that because their relationship's different as a dad, even the super involved dad. Like it's just a
Yeah.
different relationship. And
And
so it was
society looks at
fun.
it different. Like if a guy is super
Yeah.
involved in a kid's life, they're a super dad. But if a mom that works is involved at all in a kid's life,
Yeah.
society has told us that we're not focused or we're not driven enough and our kids are
Yeah.
distractions where that's not the case at all. But being in, and that's what was so cool about the room is that everyone there understood that. There was one
Yeah.
point where we had a really great speaker. Her name was Samantha. She does a bunch of cool stuff. She owns an education company, insurance agency, a foundation to give women
Hmm.
grants, single women with kids, grants to start their businesses, things like that. She was awesome. But she did a really cool networking event. And Catie, you and I both said this. The one thing she did do that I thought was powerful was part of the event was saying, what are you most proud of? Or part of the activity was, what are you most proud of? And she said, you are not allowed to say your kids. And you would be shocked, though, at how many of us,
Everyone's face was like, no.
what do we say? What do we say? So it was empowering to have to think outside that box, but also scary
Yeah.
because it's something that we all default to. But we are more than just
Yeah.
kids. Yes, they're the biggest part of our lives, but it was good. It was a good reminder that we're all more than that too.
Yeah, and it was awesome because coming off our last week podcast with Jenna, we talked with her a lot about like it's okay to want things outside of your kids. And when you're gone traveling for an event, and not everyone there was like traveling like we were, like east to west coast situation, but
Yeah.
like being away from your kids and stuff, sometimes you feel guilty thinking about yourself and like thinking about that part. And it kind of made it so that we had to a little bit, which it's fine. Like we like our careers, we like feeling like this. So it's like two separate things that you have to feel, but it was cool to like have everyone on that level, right? Like we all were like, okay, separate the mom part for a second and talk about what you're proud of.
Yeah, what you personally are proud of, what you personally are working on. Like your why is still your family and your kids, but your you is so much more all encompassing than just that one facet of your life. I really enjoyed that. And then I know we talked about this the last women's event we went to. They asked us to create our, I can't remember what it was, your North Star, whatever it was. This one, you had to have a headline. And I have to give a shout out to my favorite headline of the entire event. It was, I'm a knower, I'm a shower, and I'm a grower. And I got to close out our presentation with a dick joke for the very first time. And it was something on my bucket list.
And let's be clear, we don't even know who that was. Like, I don't know if it was meant to be a dick joke. And like everyone in the room probably turned it into one. And that girl's probably so innocent. And like,
no,
I'm growing, like growth. And like,
no, she wasn't. She was part of this badass team. It was her and her best friend. That's the girl that was working with her best friend. And they traveled together and they run that really cool agency. So I think deep down in her soul, she meant it.
Maybe. Yeah.
But regardless, sorry, we all took it.
It was so funny. Yeah, that was really funny. But so we have to talk about our actual travel experience because we both were like, the outfits were a big portion of this event.
Yes.
Like,
it was fashion
because it was women's, like because it was a women's event, it wasn't like, all right, break out your pantsuit and go with the guys. Like it was, or like your dress and go, it was like fashion, like wear something.
Well, there was an entire party, based around being pink, like pretty in pink.
Yeah, and you know that like besides this pink wall, like that might be the only thing in my house that's pink, and like I don't have
a lot of pink.
It was like ordering shit, like it was just like both of us were like sending pictures of outfits, like trying to coordinate this. And I think the best thing we did was the t-shirts that we wore with like black bottoms. It was so much fun to just be able to wear that.
Well, and I was very insecure because I had to speak in this t-shirt and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to feel good or cute in it. But the second you guys convinced me that it was cool, I'm a little older, so I had to be convinced that it was
t-shirts cool. Are in like to dress them up. And I think we still looked good.
We did look good. And you let me live to my style. Like I wore my skirt with heels because that is me. So I felt great. Like if I wore trousers and flats, I would have not been in the same frame of mind. Also, if the two people in the elevator, a man and a woman, separately didn't comment on our shirts on the way to the event, and they were like, "Oh, you guys look so good. This is what bold looks like." He's like, "Yeah, you're bold, woman. You go get them." And then we got there. Everyone's like, "I love your shirts."
Everyone did love the shirts, which was fun. It was just like fun to do something like that and then not worry about like the full outfits because it's a lot to. We had like 5 outfit changes over 2.5 days.
So basically what we're trying to say is if you're traveling for work and you have to speak or it's a specific theme and you have the opportunity to get matching shirts with your colleagues, dress them up to match your personality. It's great for pictures. It's great for conversation starters. And we are in marketing, so it was cool to look trendy.
Yeah. So it was definitely really cool. But we do have to talk about, so we were out in Salt Lake City, which I had never been. And I flew down to Charlotte for my connection, and then we hooked up to fly out there together, which was the best decision, by the way.
Yes, 100%, especially on that flight home, as we held hands.
Yeah, we have so much to fill you guys in on. I am a terrible traveler, which anybody that knows me knows that.
I
don't know if I'm like that bad. I just am like,
it's got to be gotten a lot better, because that first time we traveled together, you had like a lot of supplies, cleaning everything, like very
well. Remember that was the beginning of COVID, and remember my mom brought me that whole bag. That was like all her stuff. But like I used to like get really panicky, and that's definitely lightened up. But like I was definitely great on the way out there. We got mimosas on the flight. Like
awesome.
We were feeling good. It was so hot there, which was kind of a drag.
Like 98 degrees hot. Yeah. And it's not a big time change, but for some reason it felt like it. And there was a point, and in the very beginning, we get there, we check into our hotel, we ate lunch, come back to the hotel, and we're putting together, there were gifting moments. Another highlight of the event was there was constant gifts. Like we were getting it was so cool. But we're getting gifts, and ours are getting together, and I'm making no sense. Like even to myself, I'm starting to not make sense. I'm giggly, and you guys are like, "Are you good? Are you okay?" And I said, "Guys, I don't know."
Thought you took some drugs or something.
Because that's how I was acting, right? I was acting like I might have been high. So
just like overly delusional. Yeah.
And there really was an excuse for it. I didn't have to wake up that early. The flight we're only 2 hours difference. Like it shouldn't have been that way. So I'm like, but I feel high. Like I don't know what's going on.
What is wrong?
One of you were like, well, we're at a really high altitude. I was like, what?
Remember, that was when I checked my shout out to Snapchat for like having the altitude on Snapchat. That's how I kept checking it. And I pulled it up and like, we live, for the record of anyone listening. Well, I live, let's check what it is, where I'm at right now.
I'll check too, except I don't know how. I mean, I have Snapchat. But I don't want to
Yeah.
I'm that old, but I don't ever
So
use
I'm at 530 feet altitude right now.
I am. I really don't know. How do I find my altitude? This is how old I am.
So like take a picture and then you go to the stickers.
Oh, I was going into like my map. Okay, take a picture. Stickers. Okay. Oh, okay.
And then there's
535 feet.
Yeah, like we're literally at the same. Okay, so out there at our hotel, we were over 4,500 feet.
So yeah, it was a lot. And then I hadn't drank any water at all, just a mimosa and a lot of coffee. So they were like, you need to drink water. So then I Googled, of course, can you get
immediately
when you feel high if you're at a high altitude? And it started talking about altitude sickness. So now I'm convincing myself, and I'm having an anxiety attack, that I'm dying of altitude sickness. You guys are making fun of me.
Which, like, I don't think you can die from it.
You can.
Really?
Yeah, there's something with your lungs. Like if it goes too long, you could end up dying. So that's why I read that.
That's probably like if you climb freaking Mount Everest too quick. Like we were like.
It is. That is what it is. But my brain wasn't functioning. So I thought I was going to die. And you guys thought I was stupid. And then Michelle, thanks for having my back, told you she got altitude sickness.
Yeah, well, I'm like texting her like, hey, you've been out to Colorado, because that was my first time out that way. So I'm like texting Michelle, I'm like, did you get sick from it? And she was like, yeah, but like it was because I just was having alcohol and nothing else.
Yes.
But she was like, yeah, my friend when we got here was like, chug water before we do anything because you're gonna.
That's what I did, and I felt better immediately. But then you went down.
I know, because then I was like, oh, I'm fine. Like, because you were already sick. Like, we thought it was like good. But after dinner, I was rough. And I already can't sleep in hotels. Like, I just can't get myself to like turn my brain off or whatever. So, yeah, I was up most of the evening pretty sick. But I like when I travel, I have a bad stomach anyway. Like, it was just.
But you rallied. You definitely rallied. You were the next day.
We got up and got at them. Usually I can. It's just, a rough go to start. But yeah, we were just hilarious at that. And then we were like telling people and they're staring at us like, what are you talking about?
Because I think a lot of them work from the West Coast.
Like, they're like, oh, yeah.
Sure, you weirdos. Like, you're not.
Yeah.
It's not like you exerted any energy, which we didn't.
Yeah.
But that was the other nice thing about this event is we're used to go till like 4 a.m. and then you wake up at 7 and you have to be at the event at 7:30. Like this event was awesome. It ended like at a reasonable time. Then you did stuff from like 6 to 9, maybe 10 was the latest we stayed out. We were home. We went to bed. But I think we made the most epic decision ever. Catie and I were playing around on Resort Pass and such looking for like, we wanted to explore Park City, Utah. That's what we were supposed to do. But something in our souls told us like, we need to use this opportunity to rest. And we kept looking at Resort Pass. And Katie's like, why don't we just book the hotel? Like, all right, we have a red-eye flight home. Let's go somewhere. So we went into the mountains, very cheap. And thank God we did, because our flight was so late. Like, I don't know how we would have done it otherwise.
I don't know who likes taking red eyes because that was awful. I don't think I'll do it again unless I am so desperate to get home.
Yeah, I don't know if it was my fave either, because this is the thing about a red-eye flight as a mom. We worked all week. We were tired because you didn't sleep great. I did sleep well when I was there, but I was still tired, and whatnot. And
altitude sickness.
That altitude sickness really got me. But my favorite part was the end when we really got to just sit and look out at the mountains, film TikToks, and swim. That was great. But
yes.
Then when we got to the airport, Catie and I wanted food, but of course, with a red eye, everything was shut down. So we walked like 20 miles at 11
It felt like forever. Yeah, like why is stuff in the airport closed like that?
Don't have flights at that time and not have a single restaurant open. Like I cannot.
I made us switch terminals, and clearly all the stuff in the other terminal was probably open, so that was my fault. But like it was just not good. So
you were nervous
for food. I was over it. I'm like, I'm so tired because I didn't like sleep in the hotel barely, and then like we're not going to sleep tonight. And
And
I
I
don't
thought
think
we
I
were going to sleep,
slept.
but we
I
didn't.
don't think I slept more than 10 minutes on that red eye.
I looked and I think I slept for 40 minutes. So I did get a 40-minute nap in, but it was so turbulent. Like,
But
it
it's still
wasn't
like you're,
overly turbulent. It was just consistent.
yeah. So get this, me and Danielle are boarded. Nobody is in the middle of us, which was also like, thank God. The pilot comes on and is like, hello, this is going to be, I don't have a better word for it, but it's going to be a rough takeoff. So I'm like, cool, like, let's have
We
a
looked at
panic
each
attack.
other, we're like, great.
And like, it really could have been worse. But
Yeah.
like, it was just constant. The whole flight was bumpy. The seatbelt light didn't go off.
No, it kept coming on, and then you were like, "Oh, we're in the clear," and that's like when I fell asleep. I think we were like pretty like cruising,
I
and it
finally,
was. Doo-doo.
I finally gave up and read
Katie
my
and I
book.
held
So
hands very romantically as
we
we
had
took off,
a brief
hoping
moment that we
hoping
were,
not to die. And
was
like my
done.
texts weren't going through, and I'm like, "What if I never say I love you to my family again?" But we survived, and we landed. But then I feel so bad because you had to keep going. Like I got to go home, but here's the thing: I got home at 7. I begged Jordan for a 15-minute nap. My kids were up at 7:30. I had to take them on
Right.
a boat alone at 10 a.m. I had to be there at 9:30. They screamed the entire time. Like it was, you had to be at a family reunion.
Yeah.
Red eye wasn't the right choice, but you want to know what? It worked out.
We survived, but yeah, it was like torture me having to go there, then get home. And I did fall asleep on the second flight, which was good.
Yeah.
So, it worked out. I made it through the family reunion. I came home and fell immediately to sleep, though. Slept for 2 hours, got up to help with bedtime, put them to bed, and then went back to sleep.
Oh no, we did. We went to the boat from 10 to 2. Then I came home, and then at 5 we left for a kids bop concert in the 98-degree heat, sweltering heat. But it was really fun. The kids had a great time.
Well, that's like the thing, right? Like you have to push through to do it. But like we've gotten spoiled. We sleep now for the most part. Like the kids are sleeping. So
Yeah.
like we don't get up. I don't, even if I was in the baby phase, like you get a couple hours every now and then. Like
Yes. And I'm in
this
this.
was,
We sleep too now, which is a
yeah.
beautiful gift. But it was definitely red eyes our first. I can definitely do a red eye again. I just wouldn't plan something right when I get home.
Yeah. Like plan. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need to plan like a
So
massage or a minute suite. And then let's talk about the minute suite.
right, I forgot to tell you about that. So I didn't do the minute suites. I tried to book a massage and I sat out front of the place for like 35 minutes and they like couldn't get me in enough time and I was so mad.
That
I
is
was
so
like,
sad.
I was hoping that I was going to make the girl feel bad because I sat right in there waiting. And then she
She
was
didn't
like,
feel
I'm
bad.
sorry. Like, yeah. I'm like,
Yeah, okay.
okay.
I was trying to convince Katie to get a minute suite to sleep in. And then I don't know if you saw one of our friends like was in an airport and she's like, whoever thought of minute suites was a genius, like nap on the go. And I was like, I know. Why didn't we think of that? Like little pods.
I would have rented it, but like to spend that money, I just felt guilty to like sleep, to spend the money. Like,
It was like $65 for an hour of sleep. To me, that's worth it. See ya. Good night.
see, to me, it's not worth it. But like, so then I was like, well, I can just go put my head down and sit somewhere. But I just like that whole experience. It was again like the stuff I went to the terminal that I was going to take off of to come back
And
here,
there was
and
nothing there. I told you
it was
eat
under
first.
construction. Well, there was stuff, but everything was under construction, so you
Told
couldn't
you.
sit. Like it
You
was
need to
just
stop
so.
going
I
to the
was
gate.
like,
Whatever gate you're supposed to be at, just chalk it up, Katie. It's gonna suck. Go to the one that you see that's
don't go to
good.
the fucking gate. But yeah, I need to stop going to my gate like a good travel person and, figure
Live
it out.
life on the edge a little, just see where your spirit takes you,
I
which would be
can't.
exactly to the gate because
I
that's your spirit.
can't. I can't. There is so...
Where I'm like, Katie, look at all these restaurants. We have 45
No,
minutes.
must go to the
They say
gate.
the they say the wait time is like 30. Like it'll give us 15 minutes to eat and get to the gate. It's fine, right? And you're like, no,
No.
we must go. Must check gate. It's so
They're
funny.
boarding
Yeah,
early.
Katie,
Like, I don't know.
that's like my favorite part of traveling with you and having like other people there to witness it because there are just little things that like you looked at me at one point, you're like, I am gonna hate you at 10 o'clock. Like I'm just telling you now that I'm gonna hate you at 10 p.m. And I was like,
Yes.
I accept that. Like 100% you're gonna hate me because you're gonna say it's time to go to bed, which you did, and I'm gonna say we can't leave now. Like to make connections, or we're at this thing. And
We're at a
that's exactly
piano
what
bar
happened.
and there's people laying on the side of the street outside, but it's like, let's stay out. Like, get
That
me
is
out of
accurate.
here.
I feel like we compromised. Don't you feel like like I could have stayed a
Yeah.
lot
I
longer?
also like when we were out like that, there's two different types of people. I feel like when you're at networking events, there's the people that want to go out and then there's the people that want nothing to do with it. And unfortunately, we're a vendor, so have to be on the side of wanting to go out or doing whatever the people that are there want to do to try to earn business. And it's just, I'm not cut out for that lifestyle, I don't think.
I get it. You are. I
I
mean,
can be go with the flow, but like I'm the flow. Like I like being the decider.
well, I am definitely a hostage taker. That's like in my life, people call me the hostage taker. I'm the vendor that, like, even if I don't want to go out, I do deep down. Like, once
Just
I'm
want to see
there,
what.
getting, yeah, and I enjoy people and talking to
Yeah.
people. And it's less about, for me, I'm not like a partier in terms like,
Mm-hmm.
let's get wasted and go crazy. It's not like I want to have serious
Yeah.
conversations or funny. I don't want to miss anything. I have FOMO, like, to the
Yeah.
degree. But the nice thing about this event, I think, was that it wasn't like a bunch of people who wanted to go out hard. So like when
Yeah. I
we met
didn't feel
everybody else,
totally like they were all just there for us to pay for their stuff. Like that was nice.
that wasn't it at all. It was so nice.
Yeah, that would made it really nice because like a lot of times you go out with these people and they know they can get free stuff out of you, and then it's like, okay, but we're in a piano bar. Like I literally can't hear you. So like, how are we connecting
Yeah,
over
I
this
can hear
song?
people because I'm loud. And the people I was talking to were loud. And I think, like, for me, this event with the women, I was laughing. I actually had a doctor's appointment yesterday, as you know. And I was like, listen, like, I'm starting to get like wrapped up. Like, I met all these women. They were so awesome. And they were telling me that I might have like perimenopause. I was like, I don't though, to my doctor. She's
Right?
like, okay. And I'm like, but I don't though, right? Like I'm not even 40. Like I don't have it. And she's like, oh, okay, you don't have it. Then I started telling her some stuff and she's like, you might, I'm like, don't say it. She's like, you might be in perimenopause. And I was like, no, it's true. Remember me leaving telling you that? I was like, all these people are telling me this and they're not that much older than me at all. But like in my head, I'm like, I'm traveling with you
Right?
guys and you're younger than me by a few years. And Amaya's younger than both of us by 10 years, you know? So it's like, I was like, there's no way. And then going to my doctor was affirmation. That like, that's where I'm at. You know, that's what's happening, I think. So cheers to
Yeah.
that.
That's amazing though, because like, what's that mean? Like you're just at the start of menopause?
Oh, this can last for up to 10 years, just so you know. Um, and it's basically like your body's hormones just start to alter. Like
Good.
you're not on the
It's
you're
been
like
all.
not
I
on the
feel like they're
cusp.
altering right now.
Yeah, so like the things that we complain about, like to each other constantly, like feeling like we're teenagers again, like with, flow and cramps and all that stuff. It's just like a sign that your body is maybe getting closer to the transition. But I mean, that transition could take 10 years before I hit menopause. So I'm like, are you kidding me? So basically, you're just telling me, like, as a woman, I'm just give up, give up. And then she's like, yeah, you definitely need to take iron and vitamin D, which I already knew. She's like, but you got to be consistent. And I'm like, yeah, I need to order my first AM PM pill box. And I don't know that I'm ready for it. I don't know that I'm ready for it, but I also don't have the
We'll
capacity
find you
to
a cute
remember
one.
what ones.
We'll put a cute
Can
one
you
together.
please?
Yeah.
Like, I need it to be like pink or purple or sparkly or something because I'm sitting here and I'm like, I can't remember because you have to take the iron without this and the vitamin D without this and the spiralac. Like it's like I just feel, it's hard enough for
It's
me to remember to take my Adderall.
yeah. I
Like
love
I
a
didn't take
cute
it
little
today.
pillow box or something. Anything to organize is like up my alley. So I'll
Yeah, so I'm
find you
gonna put you in charge
something.
of this project for me.
The only like benefit is that like you're on your way to not having your period, right? Like, is that the end
Maybe,
goal?
maybe in 10, 15 years. I don't know.
I
So just
can't
for the next,
even think about having mine for 20 more years. Like I'm so sick of it.
it's
How can I like?
it's
How am I going to
unreal.
live the rest of my life by only feeling good for a week at a time?
Oh, yes, I agree. And then anticipating it, as you know, we both were on the same time cycle. And I was telling you that my Aura ring was telling me you were going to get it early. And you're like, no, it's not time. We have 8 days.
I'm
And I
like, I
haven't
just
gotten it
started
yet.
feeling okay. What do you mean? No, I've
Well,
already
you
had
have
signs
time.
of
It's
getting
not here
mine too.
yet.
So it's close. I
No,
feel
now
it.
it's just because we're more aware, there's more technology, like we're talking about it. Like Now it's just, what's happening. So you are mentally and
I guess maybe
physically
it is that like I'm so under,
incapacitated.
like when you're trying to get pregnant, you like really learn it. And then like once you regulate after, you're like, okay, like you know all the signs, and then you can still
And then you're
catch me
thinking about
somewhere
like
without tampons. So it's
every
fine.
every time it's the whisper, excuse me, under the toilet, excuse me, does anyone have it? And no one ever does. Like, why would they have one? Why would we be prepared? The
This
last time I was
conversation
home,
has
I feel
gone
like
in a
I did that.
million directions today.
Yeah, it's because I didn't have my pill box and I didn't take my medicine. That's why.
Perfect. And I'm just on
But
board with you. So
yeah,
it's
you're
fine.
just going for it. But yeah, overall, we had a really good trip, and I think some key takeaways are, if you have a lot of time, and just book a nice little resort pass or resort in the mountains and
Yeah.
overlook. Pack cute outfits, like plan your outfits out in advance. We None of us really overpacked that much, honestly.
No, it was pretty good. Yeah, I think that's good. And then like one of the things that common themes I've seen a lot of people talking about even on LinkedIn is like know what you're getting yourself into before you go to events from now on, because a lot of people have been having like bad experiences where like they go to a BNI event and it's like give me your referral list, like where's the list of your people that you're going to share, and it's like okay, no, like who are you, like what do you like, being able to actually connect to people I think is more important. So I got to put my socialization face on for this afternoon because I'll be at an
I
event
know.
for us, but yeah,
You've got
it's
this. You're always really good, and you are a social person. You just need to recharge your battery. An
yeah,
event like trips like that are hard, because that one was great because we had time to recharge our battery. When you
yeah,
don't have time to recharge your battery, it's like is chat a lot of
when I can
challenging
like do
moments.
it and then go home after, perfect for me. Like I'll be on, do those things, but it's
Mhm.
like when I have multiple things in a row, like I can't, my battery can't handle that.
Yeah, like I thrive in the consistency, like just keep going, just
Yeah.
keep going, just
Get
keep
yeah.
going. And then if you turn me off, that's when I start to fade. And I think, like you said, knowing though what's supposed to come out of that event and what it is, like that event was truly, and like kudos to the organizer, because it was truly an event where you got to build relationships, know people, and help people. Even when we were talking about our business, it was personalized and to the person we were talking to. It didn't feel like an exchange of lists or business.
Yes.
It was more like, how can I help you grow? How can I help your business succeed? It was natural, and it flowed both ways. Like we got fed
Yeah.
too as vendors. It doesn't always happen. So I did think that was really fun. I think based on everything we've done with the event you're going to later, that's probably exactly how you'll feel after this event too.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, with that, I think it's time for us to clock out and clock back in.
To the 9 to 5.
We'll see you guys
See you
next time.
guys.